Antiochus I Theos of Commagene, Antiochus I Theos Dikaios Epiphanes Philorhomaios, Philhellen Ancient Greek, Antiochos O Theos Dikaios Epiphanes Philorhomaios Philhellen, meaning Antiochos, the just eminent god, friend of Romans and friend of Greeks, c. 86 BC 31 BC, ruled 70 BC 31 BC, was king of the Greco. The ruins of the tomb sanctuary of Antiochus atop Mount Nemrut in Turkey were added to the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1987. Several sandstone bas-reliefs discovered at the site contained some of the oldest known images of two figures shaking hands. The reliefs portrayed Greco-Iranian deities, along with the goddess Commagene and also even Antiochus himself represented in a deified status. Antiochus was one of the last rulers of a Persian-Macedonian court before the advent of the Romans. Family, ancestry, and early life. Antiochus I was the son of King Mithridates, Icolanicus, and Queen Laodice Roman VII of Commagene. Antiochus was half Iranian, a distant member of the Oronid dynasty, and half Greek. Antiochus' father Mithridates was the son of King Sames Roman II Theos Dikaios of Commagene and an unidentified woman. Mithridates was possibly related to the kings of Parthia and, in the light of archaeological discoveries at Mount Nemrut, claimed descent from Orontes and also claimed Darius I of Persia as an ancestor, thanks to Orontes' marriage to Rhodigune, daughter of Artaxerxes Roman II, who was a descendant of King Darius I. More certain are his dynastic connections to the Diadochi. Antiochus' mother, Laodice Roman VII, was a Greek princess of the Seleucid Empire. Laodice's father was the Seleucid king Antiochus Roman VIII Grypus, while her mother was a Ptolemaic princess and later Seleucid queen Tryphina C. Cleopatra VI of Egypt. Thus, Antiochus was a direct descendant of Seleucus I Nicator of the Seleucid Empire, Ptolemy I Soter of Egypt, Antigonus I Monophthalmus of Macedonia and Asia, Lysimachus of Thrace, and the Macedonian regent, Antipater. These 5 men, the Diadochi successors, had served as generals under Alexander the Great. Antiochus' parents had married as part of a peace alliance between their kingdoms. Little is known of his early life and education. Aside from its Philhellenic aspect, however, it seems that when his father died in 70 BC, Antiochus succeeded his father as king. Antiochus married Princess Aegias Philostorgos of Cappadocia, daughter of King Ariobarzanes I of Cappadocia, and his wife Athenais Philostorgos I. They had 5 children. Mithridates Roman II of Commagene succeeded Antiochus as king of Commagene after his death in 31 BC. Laodice, who married King Orodes Roman II of Parthia. Prince Antiochus Roman II of Commagene. Antiochus of Commagene. Athenais, who married King Artavasdes I of Media Atropatene. Reign. Commagene was a minor kingdom located in the highlands of northern Syria. To the north, it bordered Cappadocia, while it bordered Osrhoene to the south. It was initially a vassal state of the Seleucids, where it was considerably Hellenized. In the 1st century BC, however, Iranian culture experienced a resurgence intentionally supported by Commagene in order to highlight its ancient ancestry and refute Seleucid, Parthian, and Roman claims over the area. Under Antiochus, his kingdom experienced hardships during the Roman war with Pontus and Armenia. Armenia at first managed to extend its influence over Commagene, but Antiochus was ultimately forced to side with the Romans when the commander Pompey declared war against him. Antiochus claims in his inscription on Mount Nemrut that he was a friend of the Romans Philorhomaios, but was seen with some mistrust by a few of the informants of Roman politician Cicero. His Iranian lineage made him lean toward the Parthian realm. He enjoyed good relations with the king of Media Atropatene, Darius, who seemingly helped him against Pompey. Antiochus made an alliance with the Parthian monarch Orodes Roman II r. 5737 BC, which was cemented with Orodes' marriage to Antiochus' daughter Laodice. However, in 51 BC Antiochus provided Cicero with intelligence of the movements of a Parthian force led by Prince Pacorus I. Ultimately Antiochus chose the Parthians over the Romans. In 38 BC Pacorus was defeated and killed by the Romans. The remnants of his army fled to Commagene, where they took refuge. The Roman general Publius Ventidius Bacchus marched towards Commagene to punish Antiochus for his desertion. He laid siege to the capital Samosata, where Antiochus resided. Antiochus attempted to reach a compromise by offering 1,000 talents as reimbursement and a renewed alliance with the Romans. The Roman commander-in-chief Mark Antony declined the offer and had Ventidius dismissed, with himself taking over the siege. He was, however, unable to capture the capital, and instead resorted to accept Antiochus' new offer of 300 talents. The life of Antiochus becomes obscure after this. According to Cassius Dio, he was killed by the Parthian king Phraates Roman IV in c. 31 BC. Mount Nemrut. Antiochus is famous for building the impressive religious sanctuary of Mount Nemrut. When Antiochus reigned as king, he was creating a royal cult for himself and preparing to be worshipped after his death. Antiochus was inspired to create his own cult in the Greek form of the religion Zoroastrianism. Antiochus left many Greek inscriptions revealing many aspects of his religion and explaining his purpose of action. In one inscription, Antiochus directed that his tomb should be built in a high and holy place, remote from people and close to the gods, among whom he would be numbered. Antiochus wanted his body to be preserved for eternity. The gods he worshipped were a syncretism of Greek and Iranian gods, such as Heracles Artagnes Ares, Zeus Oromasdes, and Apollo Mithras Helios Hermes. The monumental effigies at the site show both Persian and Greek iconographic influences. Persian influences can be seen in the clothes, headgear, and the colossal size of the images, while the depiction of their physical features derives from Greek artistic style. Antiochus practiced astrology of a very esoteric kind and laid the basis for a calendrical reform by linking the Commagenian year, which till then had been based on the movements of the moon, to the Sothic star of Sirius cycle used by the Egyptians as the basis of their calendar. This would suggest that Antiochus was knowledgeable about, if not fully initiated into, Hermeticism. Antiochus' tomb complex was constructed in a way that religious festivities could occur there. Every month there were 2 feast days for Antiochus: his birthday, which was celebrated on the 16th of each month, and his coronation, which was celebrated on the 10th of each month. He allocated funds for these events from properties legally bound to the site. He also appointed families of priests and hierodules to conduct the rituals, and their descendants were intended to continue the ritual service in perpetuity. The priests wore traditional Persian robes and adorned the images of the gods and Antiochus' ancestors with gold crowns. The priests offered incense, herbs, and other unspecified splendid sacrifices on altars set before each image. All the citizens and military were invited to the banquets in honor of the illustrious deceased. During the feasts grudging attitudes were forbidden, and Antiochus decreed that the people should enjoy themselves, eat and drink wine, and listen to the sacred music performed by the temple musicians. Antiochus' tomb was forgotten for centuries, until 1883, when archaeologists from Germany excavated it. According to the inscriptions found, Antiochus appears to have been a pious person and had a generous spirit. The ruins of the royal palace have been found in another city of the kingdom, Arsamia. This palace is known as Eski Kale or Old Castle. In Arsamia, Antiochus has left many inscriptions in Greek of his public works program and how he glorified the city. Citation needed. Ancestry.